Hey, greetings there everyone, it's GleeCon, and we're back again. Another episode of Lore of Warcraft, dialed up and streaming to you. On our last episode, we continued plugging away in Durotar, and we did some quests. We got Minchina's skull, and we started clearing out some of the humans of Northwatch, and we're going to continue our journeys. If you want to, stay a while and listen as we hop back into Durotar. So we're going to kind of just check, we'll let Questy load up, we'll see where we're at, and we'll probably make some more good progress out there today. So we have Encroachment, Admiral's Orders, second thing. Now that was a breadcrumb into Orgrimmar, and Conscript of the Horde really is a breadcrumb into the Barrens. Dark Storms is a little bit of a something more. So, let's get going. We are level 14. I believe we did earn just enough to pay our way to our powers last time, so that's what kind of pushed us through a couple other missions. Now we do have, we did half of Encroachment, so we still have to kill the Dust Runners and the Battle Guards. You can fight them off here. I'm going to go to this cluster right there. We do have Old Fizzle. That's actually a tough quest, and we have, there's another quest right here, Lost But Not Forgotten. That actually sends you over to the river to kill crocs. There are some neutral quests. Reslak gives you winds in the desert. A couple harpy quests. Need for a Cure is a timed quest that will send us in and out of Orgrimmar, but will not give us time to explore Orgrimmar. And that's Burning Shadows. It's part of a chain that we will explore as we're getting really close to wanting to finish the zone. But let's go kill some battle boars for now. We're zooming through. The levels do go fast after you've exceeded their required level. Let me hit this person with a fire, and then we'll see, should we with the Dust Runners maybe. So they have an insta hot, so it doesn't really behoove us to save any kind of earth shock for it. Sometimes that's something that we look for. But in that case, a better counter is actually to just go ahead and have the flame shock on them. And of course, we want to keep the lightning shield up if I forget. I really need to download some kind of weak voice or something that will allow me to see my debuffs in a better way, or put them somewhere. Maybe LUI most likely has something that we can bake into it. I mentioned that last time, but you know me, I'm often just silly, and I just keep making things harder than they have to be sometimes, so that's just great. Some of the pleasure. If you want to watch this show, there's a lot of reasons to watch it. One of the reasons is to feel better about yourself. To say, oh man, this guy's doing it. If this guy does it, I can definitely do it. So happy to provide that service for you out there, old lore questers and heroes of the world of Warcraft universe. Okay, this will be our last one, so we really got through that quite nicely. Just a quick kill 8 of these stinking spiky little boars, and then make our way back to Razor Main, where we'll say, we did it! Now, will they give us something else? Maybe. There's always, you know, there's always reason to go kill more boarmen. Hopefully they don't give us too much. That might be boring. Yeah, I really don't know. We might go, I don't know if we'll do Conscript of the Horde, because where we'll go next is, she'll need to go to Silverpine next, so actually doing the Conscript of the Horde and sending us out is not the worst idea ever. Oh, you know we're going to finish Encroachment, so let's update the spreadsheet. Yeah, so where's Encroachment? I think I don't even know where we picked that up. There we go. Go ahead and mark that off as done. Bam. Okay, and we're, oh, I overshot the town a little bit. But that'll be done. So, you can also go ahead and mark that off. Where was Encroachment? Right there. Cool. Alright, into the little kind of bunker thing. to tell the dude that we did it. We helped Razor Hill be more safe. From a lore perspective.
I will pass along word that the Quillbores have been removed from their lairs, and that their structures may be set to fire. The removal of the Razormane from Durotar brings us closer to fully securing the borders of our new homeland.
I like that it's just straight up, we're just saying, we've done it, we killed like 8 dudes, and so we've officially removed them. Okay, we could get that. I think let's go ahead and do Lost But Not Forgotten now, and because what we really need is this last upper third. We've essentially done Senjin, and really we've completed most of the Razor Hill kind of areas too. So now we're going to start working our way up to the miscellaneous things that are really like out of the gates of Stormwind. We'll do a hike. So just because I can't contain myself any longer, I'll do the lately. Breaking news. 2024 promotion update. I finally have had an update just when I was literally like spiraling today, and I was like, that's it, I'm done, it's not gonna happen. I might as well just start packing it in and planning my life and finding other ways to be happy. And they called me today to set up an interview for Monday. So I will finally get I will get that opportunity. I wasn't even sure if I was gonna get one. There's the house over there that we're going, little hut. I'll get the chance to shoot my shot. It is an intimidating hour and a half to 2 hour plus interview I have set up for people. They sent me a list, so I will have to bring a portfolio. I'm gonna make that over the next, between now and Monday. They also sent me a sheet of quote unquote performance tasks they want completed before they're done, kind of touching on the 4 aspects that will encompass my job. So there was a like sort of a internal memo decision-making side after like a crisis. What memo am I sending out to the team and how am I responding? There was a legal side, so I asked people coming to me because I have to be a clearinghouse.
Adventurer, please, can you help me? My son Crone went hunting days ago, and he still hasn't returned. He went west toward the Barrens to hunt crocolisks along South Fury River. I fear the worst. As strong as he was, his stubborn pride has always drawn him into trouble. I warned him that the crocolisks were powerful and vicious. He grew angry and stormed off. If you can't find him, at least bring me a sign of his fate. Even if you have to open up the stomach of every crocolisk along the South Fury's banks.
Okay, it sounds like that's probably what we'll have to do. We could go for killing Physic, but I don't want to do it. Yeah, there's a couple ways we can. This is a Thunder Lizard Valley. You can go that way. You could also come from the top up here and kind of drop down on him. It is tough. It is probably, it's close to being the toughest quest in the zone. The 1 or 2 of the quests in this Burning Shadows, that's killing Gazuz and Burning Shadows is right there with it. So we're going to hit the river up. While we're there, we might as well turn in Conscript of the Horde as also, but we just picked up Lost But Not Forgotten, so let's go to the old spreadsheet and pick that up. Lost But Not Forgotten. Okay, so we picked up that bad boy. And we're going to turn it in and do it as well. Yeah, so that's part 2. I have to basically answer these questions that will require me to research legalese. So basically, at my current job, I am a sort of an expert at that, but as it pertains to my specific site, whereas I will now be expected to be an expert for all of the places in the whole region. So there's that. Then the third one was like a data set, which is, I 100% expected that. They want you to basically look at a set of data. They want you to describe which measures of central tendency, median, mode, or whatever are appropriate, what are their strengths and weaknesses. So that's like stats 101. And then analyze, interpret the data, make a conversation about it, which that is the one I was 100% expecting, because I know that I will have to parse data and present data and everything. I already do that now. So again, the only difference is there's really not a difference. I already do that. So not worried about that. And then the fourth thing is a straight up Java coding task. So I am not a computer science major. I'm pretty solid with some levels of coding, particularly HTML coding, and I can basically I can kind of jury rig some code based on my knowledge of logic statements, my knowledge of math, and my ability to sort of like sift through lines of code to find what I need. We got a boot. That's not a good sign. Bloody leather boot. Is that Homeboy's boot? Maybe. I basically spent a couple hours working on this problem. I believe I have solved it. You're essentially given a block of code and you are told to describe what would the output be if a human entered certain responses into a keyboard if you had programmed this chunk of code, and then kind of explaining why. It requires either full knowledge of... It requires a combination of knowledge of Java coding, Boolean kind of coding, and modulo mathematics, which I do have a degree in mathematics, but it has been a while. I mean, modulo is not super hard, but it's been a little while since I worked with it, so it took a little bit of time for me to rack my brain, and I'm sure other people, the other people that are interviewing will also have the time to work on these problems. So I also have to find a way to sort of distinguish myself from the pack. So yeah, that means this weekend I've got to go buy a new suit and prepare portfolios, and it all might be for nothing. So I will again post it. And at this point, they're moving us. Oh, we got his amulet. That's not good. It was inside his belly. Homeboy dead. Sorry, Kron. You dead. Let's go while we're here. Let's travel down and just go ahead and turn in the Conscript of the Horde. I feel like we should just do it while we're in this vicinity because not a lot's going to come out of that. Now, I don't think if we look at our spreadsheet that there's really a lot else that's going to come out of this. Like if we turn in Conscript of the Horde. Now there's Crossroads conscription. That might be something different. We've already passed the Crossroads, so not really. I don't know. There's also Akzeloth, the Demon Seed. So there are other things that are sending us here. So now I'm feeling like maybe we shouldn't have done this. I don't know. I guess screw it. Let's just do it while we're here. A lot of people leaving the guild suddenly. Someone says, I don't know. Someone just says, TB has left the guild. People will come and go. Yeah. I might be one of those myself, guys. Sorry. So, Conscript of the Horde, we are going to turn that in right now. Military lost but not forgotten. Maybe there's another one we're picking up here. But we're essentially in the Barrens right here. This guy says, or girl says, I was at work not typing dumb stuff.
Sug.
What do you want, pup? If you're not here for recruitment, I don't have time for you.
Oh, so Tokrin sent you? He's an excellent scout. I'm not sure what I'd do without him. I'll sign your recruitment letter, but what we really need is someone at the Crossroads.
Take this signed recruitment letter to the Crossroads. Sergra Darkthorn, curse her hide, is in charge there. She's a nasty shaman who will talk your head in circles before she lets you do anything useful. Thrall is convinced she's something special, but I'm not so sure. You'll just have to decide for yourself, pup.
Alright, so before we actually do that, we're going to come back here because of Akzeloth and a couple other things, so I'm just going to ignore it. I don't want to walk all the way to the Crossroads, and then, because we can't really fly back, we're going to have to go to Orgrimmar, so at least we'd rather wait for that. But we'll go ahead and say that we picked up Crossroads conscription. So sure, it's one of the last quests in the sort of set. We picked that up. And then we're about to turn in Lost But Not Forgotten. So go ahead and turn that in, and then we'll go ahead and create boom, 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 more of these. I'm sure we'll fill them up. Someone's biting me. It's a scorpion. Yeah, so I don't... I don't know, you know? All I can do is try my best and see how it all shakes out. But it is a sort of a wait, at least, because, you know, I was really, like I said, I was really starting to spiral in terms of, was I being sabotaged, and yada, 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 and I don't know. So, we'll see. And I really don't care if there really were people sabotaging me or that don't believe in me. And I managed to pull this off and show what I got, and it seems appealing to the people that will make those decisions. Then screw those people anyway. I guess they will have been wrong, and there's not a lot they can do about it. So, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go off the grid. One of my bucket list items is I love hiking, and I've long wanted, it's my single item on my bucket list is to do a full through hike of the Appalachian Trail. It's just over 2,000 mile hike. It takes about 6 months, and that's something I want in my life. I pray that Kron will return to me, but I'm almost certain I know his fate already.
Oh, my son. Beautiful son. Uncertain of my son's fate, I have tormented myself since he left. Now that I know what's happened, perhaps I can finally begin to mourn. Thank you, adventurer. Please take this. I was going to give it to Kron as a gift when he returned successful. Now that I know he is dead, I cannot bear to look at it.
Okay, so, that's sad. Old Misha. She did give us this hand-sewn cloak, which is actually a pinch better than the other cloak that we had. So it does give us 1 extra armor. Alright, so now again we have to kind of continue to see what we want to do. I actually kind of want to try to get Fizzle. It's going to be tough. This is going to really be a measuring stick for us. We're level 14. This is a level 12 quest, so we have a slight edge. We are also pretty solid. We're pretty strong, pretty strem. And so we're just going to kind of see here. So if you look above, this is his camp right here. He is somewhere. It looks like maybe someone's killed him. So we've got to kind of try to be smart the way we do this. Oh, there he is, right there. So I just happened to, yikes. I did this kind of wrong. Okay, I did manage to kill him and get his claw. Okay, so we're gonna have to see how this goes. Yikes. Okay. Now this is where using Minchina's skull is a potential get out of jail free card, but we might. This is gonna be real close. I died! Oh, I should have used Minchina's skull. I was trying to save it for a tougher moment, but we got what we needed, which is all that's really, really important. We got, I didn't realize Fizzle was right there. He normally spawns in the center. I didn't realize I was jumping right down on him and hurting myself. Had I not done those things, or had I been smart enough to actually drop my totems, I wasn't even thinking about that. Probably could have pulled off that without the death. So I did, obviously, you wouldn't want to do this in hardcore the way I did it. You would slow play that, fight your way in, because it was the fact that I also picked up a second warlock. He's a warlock that has an imp, and then we also picked up a second one with the Void Walker, so not our best move. My hope is that I can res up here. That will save us some walking time. There we go, perfect. Alright, so, death again, not ideal, but look where we are. We can go turn in Dark Storms, so we might as well do that. So let's go back and turn that in, and that, again, that was a really hard piece. of the pie there, and we completed it. So I love that for us. Now we just have to kind of sort of find our way back to Razor Hill to turn that in. And then we can really get moving and grooving up to Orgrimmar. Now that, I believe, will open up. So we can take in Dark Storms now. Pick that up here. We're going to turn that in. Bam, bam. Okay, this will allow us to basically open up the quest line that... Wind Canyon. So look, boom, we've got all this map cleared. I love it. And this should probably be sending us up here. There's a little warlock we can get on to that. But there are on the way, I want to do this kind of two-shot Winds in the Desert and whatever the next one's called. We don't need that guy. Ah, you know what? We're going to kill him. I'm going to get my revenge for death. Yeah, you see? I'm not weak. I can kill a raptor. But we did get some ruined leather scraps. I'm also paying attention to a basketball game right now. It is... I hate when this happens. When it gets into the fourth quarter, it is it often starts to lag on the score updates. As I mentioned before, I'm a Timberwolves fan, and it's the last week before the playoffs. Today they play the Wizards, super easy match, but they're tenuously holding on to the number 1 seed, which is, I freaking can't remember. The last time in my life that's happened. Did you find Fizzle, Glee Council? He and the rest of the Burning Blade must be scoured from our lands.
Aha, you got him. You do your clan
You
proud,
got him.
adventurer, and because of you, Durotar is free of one more agent of evil.
One of our shamans, Margoz, knows more of the Burning Blade's corruption. He speaks of a cave called Skull Rock in the mountains just outside Orgrimmar that shelters a large band of Burning Blade cultists. Before you go to Skull Rock, speak with Margoz. He is wise and his counsel is valued. He is camped to the northeast between the coast and Dry Gulch Ravine. Follow his advice, but whatever Margoz says, adventurer, I still want you to crush those cultists.
Okay, buddy, we'll do. Well, first let's put these tiger hide boots on. They are stronger, and let's buff them up with a leather patch there. Okay, so continuing to upgrade that, let's go ahead and sell and repair over here. Then we'll start making our way to the north. I got this bow. Somebody dropped a heavy short bow. Cool. Oh, we don't want to sell those. Yeah, I didn't use any of my buffs. I really could have prepared better. Like, oh yeah, this is one of the hardest quests in the region. Uses nothing. Uses none of my stockpiled buffs. This is my problem. One of many. I am a man with many, many problems. But yeah, so that Appalachian Trail thing, that is a real thing now. There are a lot of issues that could arise from a plan such as that. So, first, more than anything else would be, imagine that you say to the world, to your family, to your friends, to your employer, I am leaving on a hike for 6 months. So that it requires you to have a certain either freedom at your job or like laissez-faire attitude towards your job where you're like, you know what? But you don't want to keep me, you don't want to keep me. 2, it requires you to not care about leaving your friend attachments behind, or in the case that you guys are my friends, you're my only friends. So if something like that were to happen, we'd have to put the show in a 6-month hiatus, but I would be back. Wouldn't be forever. We would just go on a break. There's the financial element of not only do you have to deal with not having an income for 6 months, but you then also have to deal with the expenses, paying your bills for 6 months unless you want to just leave your home, paying, you know, it's pretty cheap to live on. Actually, that's the good thing. Hiking, you are, most of the time you're sleeping in your pack, you know, a tent, sleeping bag. You're eating, you know, cheap on the go. So, and then you're supplementing that with like sleeping in some motels and washing clothes from time to time. But altogether, it's pretty cheap. Like you can survive for like, you know, $1,500 a month or whatever.
I'm Reslak, one of Gazlo's boys. Boss sent me to help the orcs here in Durotar. Things have been going good except for the caravans. Can't manage to keep them safe. Makes my job a little harder, you know? The last shipment, they promised it'd get through, was snatched by the Dustwind Harpies of... Where was it? Razorwind Canyon. I gotta have those supplies or I'll never get anything done. Follow the big canyon to the south. You'll find the ravine cut right into the west and east sides of the walls.
Okay, so this is the one, out of all the 6 starting zones, this is the one neutral quest chain out there. Because it's a goblin. And Classic WoW determined all goblin quests were neutral. So this is going to be very interesting because when we finish this quest and get ready to go to Silverpine, before we actually start Silverpine, we're going to be bringing our paladin out here, and it's going to be fun. You guys are going to get to see. It's going to be a very interesting ep or two because the journey is intense. But what Reslak wants us to do is get him some supplies. Yeah, so anyway, you got, and for me, I'm married, so you got to get your spouse on board with that. Now, my wife, she doesn't like the idea of, understandably, of me not being around for 6 months, but she doesn't have the same burning passion for, like, the hike nature as I do. For me, it's a big part of my youth. I grew up extremely poor into my 20s. I spent big chunks of my life homeless, sleeping outside, traveling, sleeping in my car when I had a car, sleeping in parks, on benches, and those moments in my life were, maybe not ironically, but maybe surprisingly, some of the happiest of my life, because you really, when you have nothing except what's on your back, you have no choice but to just open up your eyes and be every day and commune with yourself and your spirituality, and I don't think I maybe didn't have security, but I don't think I've ever had more peace than I did in those chunks of my life. And there is something also about the marathon that kind of goes with my personality as well, as you've seen with the show. Like, part of my body, part of my being loves that hard work marathon, working towards payoff. That's also all about the story and the journey, which is what this show is too.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great at what I do, don't get me wrong, but this is ridiculous. What am I supposed to do, build sandcastles?
Hey, now isn't that just the thing? You've got our supplies back for us? That's great. I'll be able to get back to work just as soon as I can find someone to haul these sacks for me. Gazlo told me once, Reslak, there's one thing you need to know in life, and that's if you want something done well, do it yourself.
Nice rep.
I can't deal with losing all our caravans, so I'm just going to take matters into my own hands. Dry Gulch Ravine lies through the eastern part of Razorwind Canyon. If we kill all the harpies there, the routes will be safe. Of course, there was one other thing that Gazlovi taught me, and that's, you can get anything done for a price. So going to help me out, adventurer?
Right, so he wants us to go kill. Also, the weapons are still just under what we already have. That, what do we get? That Scorn's Hammer, that thing is worth it. I think that was for killing the wolf. That was freaking worth it. We have not found anything quite close to that yet. So we need Savages and Witches, which are actually not these guys. Savages and Witches are deeper into the ravine. We have to kill our way in there. There's no way around it. This is a level 11 quest. It's a little tougher. So anyway, you don't... My wife, basically... It's a contest of wills on this one, because this is something I've been pressing for years. She has, you know, a lot of good reasons why it shouldn't happen. But also, my rebuttal is... There's always going to be... This is such a big, monumental undertaking. There will always be reasons why it shouldn't happen. There will never be a perfect time until what? I'm retired? So, am I going to wait until I'm, you know, 65 years old to do this kind of thing? And that's not acceptable either. So, what I did was, I've been researching it more heavily, and this is, like I said, it's a backward thing. You guys don't have to worry about losing me anytime soon either. My son is kind of on the fence because, on the one hand, he's got a lot of these same things that I have inside him, and he really loves this idea. But on the other hand, he's a 13-year-old boy. He has his first girlfriend, and when he starts to tell them about these plans, they start doing the same thing. Ultimatums, saying you shouldn't go, all the reasons why you shouldn't. So, he'll have to make a decision at some point too. But the compromise I made with my wife was, okay, how about I say this, you know, I don't know exactly when everything will go down, but an undertaking of this size would take at least a year's planning. First of all, you're very limited. You pretty much, because it's a 6-month thing and weather dictates the trails, you pretty much have to start around March-ish. You might maybe have like a... That's pretty much the agreed upon window of when it's good. Some people start a little earlier in the January, February kind of time, and then you're getting a little colder, but you'll pay off by ending in Maine, it's a little more mild. And then you're planning 6 months, and you have to be done by October, because essentially the paths in Maine become deadly at that point in time. So you got to be done by then. You have to have time to plan. I would say if you want to take all your bills and everything, you probably need to save up like 20 grand. Unless you could just cut your ties. You don't need that at all. You could do it with, you know, 7 or 8 grand if you don't care about leaving anything in your life. Or you could panhandle or whatever. You could live off, you could forage off nuts. I'm sure there are some people that do it for even cheaper than that. And they're just like true scavengers. But let's say I wanted to come back and have a car and a home. So you need time to plan that. You need time to all logistical. There's a lot of things you need to plan. So anyway, that's just a life goal. So I basically said to her, okay, how about this? We'll make a compromise where I will say, you know, you're always going to have at least a 1-year notice, but I'm telling you right now that no more than 5 years from now, this is happening. So I think having that reprieve, and I don't know if she thinks she's going to talk me out of it. I don't know if that's more reasonable for her. I'm not sure, but that allowed her to give a sigh of relief, and maybe she thinks I'll give up on it, but you guys know me on the show. we're 2.5 years into the show. Not the way I am. I will set a long-term goal. Stick to that. Although I do feel bad that we reset on this. That was kind of like outside of my control a little bit because of the cancellation. I'm really making it better, so I'm kind of torn. Like I wish we could have stepped on there, and I'm trying to commit to making more EPs. You know, I've been making one every single day, for the most part. So that's my compromise for having to do that. I don't love that we're doing it, but I really think it makes for a better show. I would say that the subscriber count and engagement figures, since I've made the change, supports that fact. Things are pretty good. So anyway, I spent all that time. I don't always like to do this, but these are the thoughts. This is me checking in. I spent a lot of episodes kind of just talking about the show, and now I'm checking in. You guys can kind of get my own life. So same thing for everybody on the show. You have a 1 year to 5 year warning from today that there will be not a cancellation, but there will at some point within the next 5 years come a 6-month hiatus. But when I come back, got a silver bar on that one. It will be with so many cool stories to tell. So isn't that cool? Come on, come down here. You little buster. I want to come down further. Make me waste all my mana. I don't have enough for lightning shield. Should I drink a water? Do I have any more? Dude, let's drink one. We have not drank a water in a while. Our pee is probably so yellow. Alright, so we've been blasting through these bad boys. We just got all the witches. As you saw, you can kind of pull them from these upper ledges, particularly if you have an interrupt. Killed 8 of the 12 savages we needed. But yeah, if you guys if anyone's ever done that, please chime in, point me in some resources, give me your own experiences. If you're just into hiking in general, I do love that. So part of the compromise with my wife is she's worried. I think she wants to entertain the notion that she can do this, and I would love to have her. But from everything I've read, the hiking like that is it's more mental. Like, sure, being in shape will be nice, but like handicapped people do it. People in their 80s do it. At a certain point, pretty quickly, you're gonna pass the threshold of whatever like physical fitness would help. You're burning 6,000 calories a day. You're walking, 30 miles a day for 6 straight months. So there's an element of fitness, but you're walking. It's much more about stamina. Mental stamina. Alright, so this guy, I feel sort of kind of bad. He's out there killing. But we just need 2 more. After this, we'll just need 1 more. Yeah, so I guess if we wanted to save mana, we would just stop using some shocks. Come on, I need 1 mo. Just a mo. I just need 1 mo. Give me some mo. I got all of these little witches. Give me some mo. I just need 1 more savage. Savage, bro. Anyway, we were down to the wizards, as I was talking about before. And but we won. Oh, we just won while we were making this video. That was crazy. No defense. 130 to 121, a high-scoring game, but they pulled off the win. Thank goodness they didn't mess around and blow it. There's only 3 games left now in the season for them. Tomorrow is the most important one. They play the Denver Nuggets, and that's it for most likely. That is going to determine who gets the #1 seed in the West. Not like set in stone or anything, but pretty solid chance. All right, so we now have to make our way back out, and now we can go turn in the securing the lines. You'll watch me complete. This will be the first. These 2 quests we just did will be the first time we complete 2 quests in like from 2 different characters. It will happen other times in this show. This will be the first time you experience it when we bring our Alliance character, and I'll show you what would an Alliance insane person have to do these. But it wasn't too bad. I mean, honestly, that just goes to show you how strong League Console is. Just by doing Mulgore first and then doing this, these quests, which can normally be quite harrowing, are none too shabby. I'm going to go ahead and... You guys can stay. I'm literally the lowest geared person here, but like a lot. Idiot. So I will say... They say that, but they're level 60. How did I end up in a carrier when at level 60? Explain. Whatever. I can't. Alright, so that's cool. And we're making good time. We still have a good solid 20 minutes left. Before we pick up the need for the cure, though, first of all, let's turn this in, and then let's go check out Margoz and see what they say.
I think I can breathe easy now, knowing that the Harpies won't be bothering our supply caravans anymore. And not one moment too soon, either. I hear I'm being sent some fun little toys with the next shipment. You're pretty good at what you do, adventurer. You ought to track down my boss in Ratchet. I'll bet he could find some work for you. Oh, and don't worry. I wouldn't forget to pay you for the service you provided me.
By giving me a staph infection. Alright, so we're doing pretty good. We're going to go turn in Margoz, which is going to kind of open up the quests that lead us into Skull Rock there. But there's actually a few quests, so we're not going to quite do those yet. We're going to do that, and then we're going to go over and do this poison quest line, and we're getting so close. We're actually kind of, sort of... It's kind of weird because really probably what will happen on the next quest is, dang it, I thought so. I was like, oh, we're getting pretty close to that. On the next episode, I mean, we'll probably finish this zone and I'll travel us over to Tristful. Ooh, get some leather from a scorpion. Why not? And yeah, even though we're 14 and Druid's open at 14, remember we're waiting until both characters. We're gonna do like the lowest common denominator, the greatest. I don't know. I can talk about like modulo and all this other stuff and my graduate level math classes, and I'm like, I don't know if we're talking about lowest common denominator or greatest common denominator. I don't want to. I just not putting the brain power in at 10:30 at night to think about that. It's actually not either. I don't think. We just want them to be in common. We want them to greatest common level. It's like its own. No denominators necessary. Greatest common factor needs to be that level.
Welcome, adventurer. Word reached me of your coming and of your exploits in Durotar. You are an adventurer of growing skill and renown.
I know.
Stay on the pure path, and your future will be great indeed. Adventurer, the Burning Blade has infested the cave east of Orgrimmar known as Skull Rock. Inside that cave, they perform vile rituals and burn their own flesh with searing collars. By wearing these collars, I believe the cultists attune themselves to demonic power. But to confirm this, I must have a collection of the collars to study. Go to Skull Rock and gather searing collars from the cultists you find there. Bring them to me, and I will uncover their secrets.
Okay, so, unfortunately, pretty much the culminating quest in this zone is still going to give us worse hammer than Scorn's hammer. That's a noi. Alright, so that does send us in there. And actually, if you look, we can kill, like, Fizzle and a couple of these other guys for that, too. But we're not finna do that. What we're actually going to go do is do this Need for the Cure quest. Because I'm pretty sure when we go into Orgrimmar here, we're going to get another quest that sends us in there. Get off me, bro. Just a damage. Yeah. But in the meantime, so we will live out this week, and we will do our best. Now, there is a chance Friday, because it's a D&D Friday, probably. I do have some members of the group that have already bowed out, so I will just have a party of 4. So if I have any other members bow out, we'll postpone it. In which case, I'll definitely be here with bells on. But if not, I sometimes suffer from guilt where I do that D&D, and then I come back and Milady is, she's wanting the time. And 6 minutes? Okay, there's a chance that we will do this Need for the Cure quest, and we'll be in Orgrimmar over the course of the next 6 minutes. Which would be cool. We'll get a nice little 2-hour buff out of it, which will help us when we're wrapping up this zone. Let's find out. So this is pretty much the last quest in the zone. There's the Skull Rock areas, but then there's this. This is an interesting one. By interesting, I mean it sucks. Because it involves a lot of running, and it is on a timer. Timer is certainly well within our powers, but it does mean that once we start it right now, we're locked into finishing it for the end of this ep. Okay, here's Renog.
Adventurer, your timing is perfect. I just hope I can complement your haste as well. I was careless while fighting a few of the venom tails nearby, and one of them stung me deeply. I can feel its poison weakening me even as we speak.
At this rate, I got maybe an hour left to live, but I'll need your help if I'm to do so. Korgan in Orgrimmar knows how to make the antidote. Find him, and hurry, adventurer. I won't be able to last much longer. He should be in the Cleft of Shadow.
Okay, so that starts us a 45-minute timer. Also, homeboy I just saw a PvP guy. Wouldn't it be annoying if they killed him? Yes, that would be, because then you'd have to wait for the respawn with a timer. That would be a straight up male private part move. People getting buffed and cross. So we're about 3.5 minutes from the buff. It might hit us because we have to walk to the Cleft of Shadows and walk back. Because basically what happens, he's like, help me, I'm dying, I need the quest. So it opens, oh, crud. I just realized, I think I've been forgetting to update my quest. What do we do? Oh, okay. We picked up Winds in the Desert. Oh, wait a minute. Before that, we picked up... Let's get inside the city. Yeah, and then we picked up something else before Winds in the Desert. Margoz. So we completed Dark Storms. We completed Winds in the Desert. We completed this. Completed Lost But Not Forgotten. We're doing that right now. We did From the Wreckage before. We did not do that. We completed Margoz. Okay, cool. We're caught up. So we picked up Margoz. And then we picked up Winds in the Desert. Oh, bro, I hate it when I do that. I copy the blank space instead of pasting. I liked it. We picked it up and turned it in. And we did Securing the Lines. Pick up. Oh, I just did it again. It's my brain. You suck. Okay. We picked it up. And if you notice yellow, that means neutral. And we just picked up Need for Cure, which is going to open up the repeatable quest, the Antidote. So we might as well pick up Finding the Antidote. And that's going to be a boom, boom. Okay. So here we go. I was really kind of killing time too so that we could potentially get this buff. We have 10 minutes. So my hope is we finish the whole dang thing in 10 minutes. That's the goal. So we have to go to the Cleft of Shadow, and we're going to pick up Finding the Antidote, which is like, basically it's a quest within a quest, which makes this quest kind of annoying because we can't do all of the things that we want to do right now. Like, it would be nice to just run and do this, but because we're on a timer, we have got to... Basically, you go there, then they say, I will give you the cure if you help me make it by going back out to the Scorpids, killing more Scorpids, and then you bring that back to us, then I'll give you the cure, then you can bring it back to him. And cure him. So we have 9 minutes until that happens. Until we're at an hour. So my real hope is that we can finish this within those 9 minutes. And then the next episode we'll explore Orgrimmar and we'll finish up the Burning Crusade. We'll do some of the Burning Blade stuff. We'll do some of that in here. And if we have time, then we'll take ourselves over to Terrestrial Blades before we come back and travel with our human to this crap show that is this land. But let's go over to the guy who I guess is a poison expert, so he must be in this dark, spooky area, which is par for the course.
Venom tails are some of the deadliest Scorpids in Durotar. It was unwise for Reinag to hunt them without having some of the antidote with him, but right now, chastising is the last thing he needs. Bring me a few Venom Tail poison sacks from any of the Venom Tails near the entrance of Orgrimmar, and I'll make an antidote for him. Make haste, adventurer. One of our own needs your help.
Alright, so we need 4 Venom sacks. The drop rate is not 100%. I also am strongly hoping, because it's this guy said world buff in whatever he said, 6 minutes or something like that. Well, I'm pretty sure it's been 6 minutes, so I think that was a lie. Or maybe you don't get it if you're in the drag. Or maybe it wasn't in Org. Or maybe I'll get it on the way out. I can't really stand around and wait for it, unfortunately. Not going to affect our life that much, although it would have been cool. It would have been cool to get the world buff. He doesn't have it. The guards, they have War Chief's Blessing 7 minutes ago.
Strength and honor.
Blood and
Okay.
thunder.
Cool, but I don't see everybody. Yeah, these guys are waiting on it. They have War Chief's Blessing. How long till drop? Let's see. There is an app and a site you can use. Find out when they're going to turn it in. There's not a lot of people here for there about to be an impending world buff. And we can't mess around that much. Guess we can sell or something. Yeah. I guess I'll sell, but I'm not gonna wait anymore. I can't.
What can I help you with?
Actually, I think we can cook that Scorpion Stinger because we have that. Yeah, Scorpion Surprise. Where's my cake?
Be safe.
No. No. Okay. Cool. We cooked that one stinger. Yeah, I'm kind of killing time. Not the smartest move when you're on a timed quest. I'm gonna save that silver bar. We might need it for something. Who knows? 61. I probably should have looked and see. Mine's way better than that. Bam, bam. Okay. That's cool. Alright, I'm out. Let's go do it. We're on a timer. We gotta heal this dude. Oh, the head's dropped right there. So, I don't know what the deal with that was. Missed it. I don't know. I don't know enough about the buff game to really play around with it like that. Alright, so now we're to kill scorpions. We need 4 scorpion sacks. We kind of screwed around, so we're definitely not going to hit our timer for an hour, but we'll go a little over just because we have to. If we log out, we'll screw the whole quest up. So we need to go out and kill scorpions, then run back, turn them in, then run back to this dude. That is that. Yeah, that's how that goes. Drop rate is like not 100%, but it's not like terrible. So we'll see. We really got. I have to get better about like using my totems, especially since I'm gonna make that my specialty. No one's been telling us. We're getting close to a level up too, to 15. I don't know what we're gonna spend on. Okay, we got a Scorpion Stinger. Oh, I forgot I can skin these puppies. Give me your skin. I need all the ruined leather scraps I can get. Boo-hoo. Alright, gotta find scorpions. I just like velociraptors. Yeah. Corrupted blood talent. I don't know what they do. If there's a quest or something somewhere that needs the corrupted things, but for some reason they're showing you like, hey, there's...
I'm out of range.
Something corrupts these guys. I don't know what it is. Another scorpion over there. We basically have to chill. I'm hoping we have at least like a 50-50. Okay, we got a sack. We need 3 more. Imagine needing so many sacks. We do. We need all the sacks. I'm hoping not much worse than 50. Just never know. I blocked. Nope, I did. I lied. Okay, we got 2 sacks. We're halfway done. No complaints from from me over here. And that's all you do. Just come out here and kill. It just means you can't. The time limit is well within anybody that's like attempting the quests. No issues. It just means you can't log and you can't like go get distracted. I don't know if that timer naturally appears or if it's a questy specific thing. Dang it. But I do know there's a bug with Questy with all timed quests. We're gonna see if they fixed it in a recent patch. But essentially, once we complete the quest on the timer will roll over to a different quest. You stinker. Be better. Stupid. Alright, so we were making, I mean, we were doing okay. We got 2 real quick, and then we've had a couple of fruitless kills. Of course, this guy needs 4. There we go. We got a 3rd. 1 more, and we're good to go. Any kill could be our last, and then we can make the run and make it run back. Hopefully, homeboy doesn't die. I mean, if this were to take us 32 more minutes, I would cry. I wouldn't really cry. Come on, it's a figure of speech. That would be extreme. If I shed big fat dollops of tears, I would just redo it next time. I wouldn't. Next episode, I wouldn't actually cry, guys. Don't worry. What was that? Offhand item that gives us 1 intellect. I really like the shield, but I'm keeping that for like dungeons because that's better. If I'm actually going out there to heal, I want that thing. It's actually pretty cool. Wake me up, why don't you? Somebody pinch me. 4 seconds on Earth. We did it. Okay. We can go turn these finding the antidotes in while we're walking. Let's go ahead and do the spreadsheet. We're gonna turn that into. Okay, so what's this beaded breeches? That's cloth. Cloth and it sucks. So we also need to play with this next time. Not now. We have plenty of leather right now, but we don't have any light hides. But we'll mess with this next time. I don't think we're gonna need to like make more light armor kits. I think we'll be okay. Really stoked that the T-Wolves won. Yeah, so we play the Nuggies tomorrow. Come on. Yeah, there's only 3 games left. Then we play the Atlanta Hawks on Friday night. That will be a minimal interest game. And then we play the Suns to finish out the regular season on Sunday afternoon. It's an afternoon game, which is weird. They're never afternoon games. Man, these people are just like ready. So that makes me hope we're gonna get a buff while I'm in here. I'm still having my fingies crossed. So, I mean, maybe. Everywhere is a dead end. Hotel and branch. We still have 20, basically 30 minutes. But we're just going to turn this in, then go save the dude, and then come back at least so I get the rest of XP, and we'll just kind of explore Orgrimmar and these other quests tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow I just have a big paperwork day ahead of me. A lot of stuff, and I kind of have to be like, it's kind of weird because I don't know for sure if I'm getting this new job, but I kind of have to start like laying out an exit strategy so that people that come in behind me aren't screwed if I do end up leaving. And I have a lot of stuff just that has to get done. But tomorrow's like a day where I don't have like a lot on the calendar. It's really a lot of like, I pace myself and do stuff, and you know I'm probably going to be working some on this portfolio too. Gotta squeeze that in there. Alright, so we can go turn in.
Man.
Remember, no matter what creature you hunt, you'll be well to study it and understand its behavior. That knowledge could
Here
save
is
your
the
life.
antidote, adventurer. Take it to Rheinegg as soon as you can and be cautious.
That is repeatable in case you screw this up or like run out of time. I don't know. I don't know why it's repeatable. It's got to be because of that. In case you run out of time, like if whatever, then you would still like not have backed yourself into a situation where need for a cure was completely unresolvable. Now we're gonna walk back out and give him the cure. We accomplished that. Did I get? We didn't get anything. No XP or anything for making the cure. That's dumb. Yeah, I made I'm making the D&D. I want to show you guys that at some point too, but really that'll just be something I share. I'm kind of waiting for it to be a little more polished. But I'm not even halfway done. Like with a full like book, I'm not halfway done. I want to make got an adventure I'm kind of doing right now, which I really haven't done too much of. I just haven't had time to work on it. Like, when I'm working from home, I make more time for that stuff. Which is probably common. I mean, don't get me wrong. Look, if you work from home, you deserve your paycheck. But you got more free time. I'm just saying, there's a reason why people want to work from home. It's freaking easier. It's easier. There's no way, come on, there's no way around it. It is easier. I mean, maybe call me a jerk, but I'm telling you. I've worked from home. When COVID came, I worked from home. And I'm gonna tell you, I played a lot of video games. I did my job. I got my paycheck. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I played a lot of games. I platinum Sekiro when that was COVID's gift to me. Tragedy for the world, but Sekiro made some people pay. I was zooming and doing computer work from my kitchen while I was just becoming a master of all the Sekiro bosses. The game's dope, by the way.
What you want?
I'm almost glad I can't return to Senjin as I am now. My weakness and stupidity would surely be mocked.
Adventurer, you've saved my life. Thank you. Please take this. I hope it can at least help you in your travels, if not bring you some coin. From what you say, I won't be using it anytime soon. Korgan is gonna march me through more of his rituals until I prove myself. More killing boars, more gathering scorpid tails. Sight. Sight.
I love that. Oh look, the glitch isn't there. There used to be a glitch on Questy where the timer would transport itself over to another quest. Sight. I'm just gonna start saying that. Anytime I want to sigh, instead of actually sighing, I'm gonna just sight. It seems almost like a weird... Alright, so we're just walking into the gate to the city so we can get that buff, and I'm probably not gonna like log out the way I normally do. I'm just gonna kind of check off the show, but we're pretty dang close, and I'm happy about that. That's pretty cool. This was a pretty good, pretty productive ep, and I'll be happy. I do have worries on days like this when we get a pretty nice chunk done, and I'm like, man, I only got like 3 or 4 quests done on my like mock, my kind of pathfinding trailblazing set. Does all the heavy lifting, so that I'm ready for us when it's time to go. Alright, so we have another episode in the pipe, 5x5. As always, I thank you all so much for watching and for listening, for making it all worthwhile for me, and I'll see you all next time on Lore of Warcraft. See ya!